If you say one more thing, I'm gonna knock you out.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of Sip On That. Sip On That. And I am your co-host today, Nicole. How is everyone doing? And before we get into this story, hit the button below and subscribe to the channel. Yes, I'm glad to be here with y'all today to tell y'all some more updates and more stories that's out there. And I would like to let everybody know, keep the stories coming. I appreciate what y'all do and how y'all send. And keep them coming, and then I'll be here for y'all. Yes, sip on that. Sip on that. And our today's story is going to come out of Illinois today. And today we had a man named Jeremy Brown and a lady, Miss Hood. They was in a eat food establishment that opened up 24 hours. It was called Maxwell, famous for sandwiches, that opened up 24 hours in Illinois. And in the establishment, altercation had broke out between Mr. Brown and Mrs. Hood about some food, allegedly. And in between of the altercation, Mr. Brown had told Miss Hood, if you say something one more time, I'm going to punch you, I'm going to hit you. And when they was arguing, going back and forth, and he was telling her, if you say something again, I'm going to punch you in your face, Mrs. Hood was texting her son on the phone, who was sitting in the car, and he's allegedly around 14 years old. So when the 14-year-old had got out the car to come in to see what was the mother talking about, at that time the altercation had took place where Mr. Brown started beating Miss Hood. Yes, you heard me right. Mr. Brown took it upon himself, putting his hand on the woman and started beating Miss Hood. The people who was a witness in there said he hit her more than at least allegedly 3 times. And they had some people in there also who was with Mr. Brown, who was hee-heeing, ha-ha, and laughing, and thought it was funny that this man was beating on this lady over altercation, allegedly hamburgers and food. So in between all that, when he was beating Miss Hood, her son, I'm just going to say teen, he took out the firearm out of his hoodie, because he had on the hoodie with his hand in his pocket, and he took the firearm out of his hoodie, shot Mr. Brown one time in the back. So when he shot Mr. Brown one time in the back, Mr. Brown ran out of the Maxwell food establishment. And when he ran to the outside, the mother, Miss Hood, told her son to go behind him and continue shooting more times. So the question is, that I want y'all to chime in down below. Is this murder or is this self-defense? Or should the teen be charged? Or should the mother be let go? But I did get the update of the story that the charges have been dropped from Mrs. Hood and her son. But we all know DA can come back at any time, any day, and any year and pick them charges right back up. So don't think that might be over with. But it is giving them time enough to see, was it murder or was it self-defense? Because allegedly when Mr. Brown ran out of the establishment, was he going to his car to go get a weapon? We don't know that answer. So that is allegedly. Was he running to go get a weapon to come back? We don't know that answer because it did not take place. But in the meantime, the mother and the son was outside wrestling over the firearm because the mother, she wanted to go back inside and shoot some of the people who was in there laughing. Some of the people who was in the restaurant laughing and thought it was funny. The mama wanted to go back in and shoot some more people, but the son at a young age was wrestling and tussling with his mother over the gun for her not to do it. So we all know it have a lot of stand your grounds. We all know that it have a lot of self-defense. We all know that people supposed to keep their hand to themselves. So I'm gonna let you answer this question to the sip on that audience. What do y'all think? And I want y'all to chime down below and tell me what y'all think on this. Because yes, people supposed to keep their hand to themselves. Yes, it's okay for people to run their mouth and say whatever they want. That doesn't justify and give nobody a right to put their hands on them. But is that really justified for murder? Is that really that they couldn't shoot him in the kneecap because they already shot him in the back? So the second rounds or the third rounds, or allegedly, they couldn't take his kneecaps out so he couldn't come behind them when they tried to flee? It's a lot of questions in this, but we're glad that the mother and the son is okay. Sorry that Mr. Brown had to lose his life for this. Rest in peace to Mr. Brown, because it's never okay for murder. But some people in their anger actually need to learn how to keep them hands to themselves. So we're going to sip on that. Sip on that. And thank y'all. You can come to my email. That's trailblack9@gmail.com. My cash app is $trailblack9. And you can also put your questions down below on YouTube and on Facebook. And you have a good day. Bye-bye.